Reports of a devastating storm claiming thousands of lives have sparked confusion, fear, and disbelief. The scale of destruction described seems almost unimaginable, far beyond typical disaster reports. Amid this chaos, an even stranger story begins to unfold, one that quickly shifts attention away from the storm itself. At the center of this growing mystery is a man known for his rugged independence and deep connection to nature. What started as a simple conversation about tragedy has now evolved into something far more unsettling, raising questions that stretch beyond the boundaries of ordinary explanation and into the unknown. The man behind the mystery. Eustace Conway has long been regarded as a symbol of self-reliance, a man who chose a life deeply rooted in nature over modern convenience. Living on his Turtle Island preserve, he built a reputation as someone who not only survived in the wilderness, but thrived in it. His lifestyle inspired many who admired simplicity and resilience. Yet, despite his public image, there were always whispers that Conway was more complex than he appeared. His guarded nature and strict control over certain areas of his land hinted at secrets that few were allowed to uncover. A barn. That raised questions. For decades, a modest wooden barn stood quietly on the edge of the preserve. To outsiders, it appeared ordinary, a storage space for tools, supplies, and remnants of a life lived off the grid. But those who knew Conway well sensed something different. He treated the barn with unusual reverence, rarely allowing anyone inside without direct permission. Locals often joked about its secrecy, but beneath the humor was a shared curiosity. Why would a simple structure demand such strict boundaries? The answer, it seems, was far more disturbing than anyone had imagined. The inspection that changed everything. Following severe storm damage, local officials arrived at the property to conduct safety inspections. Their task was routine: assess structural integrity and ensure no immediate hazards existed. However, the barn stood out immediately. Secured with heavy iron latches uncommon for agricultural buildings, it raised concerns. After unsuccessful attempts to reach Conway, authorities proceeded to enter under supervision. What they encountered inside shifted the situation from routine inspection to something far more serious. The atmosphere felt wrong, too controlled, too deliberate, like stepping into a place meant to remain hidden. A hidden entrance revealed. Inside the barn, everything appeared orderly at first glance. Crates were stacked neatly, tools arranged with precision, and the air carried the scent of aged wood. But a small accident changed everything. When an inspector disturbed a loose floorboard, it revealed a concealed hatch beneath. Carefully pried open, it exposed a narrow staircase leading downward into darkness. The discovery immediately raised alarm. This was no ordinary storage space. It was an intentional concealment. What lay beneath was not meant to be found, and the team hesitated before descending into the unknown. Descending into the unknown. As investigators made their way down the staircase, the environment shifted dramatically. The air grew heavier, carrying a faint chemical scent that contrasted sharply with the rustic barn above. Their flashlights revealed a chamber lined with shelves, each meticulously organized. The space resembled a hidden laboratory or archive rather than anything associated with rural living. Every detail suggested careful planning and long-term use. This was not a forgotten space. It was active, deliberate, and deeply secretive. The realization sent a wave of unease through the team. Strange collections and specimens. The underground chamber contained rows of glass jars, each holding preserved specimens, animal organs, bones, feathers, and unusual plant matter filled the shelves. Some specimens appeared ordinary, while others were difficult to identify. The preservation method suggested knowledge of biological processes, far beyond casual curiosity. Alongside these were tools, scalpels, syringes, and magnifying instruments, indicating systematic study. The arrangement was not random. It reflected methodical documentation. Whoever created this collection was studying nature at a level that blurred the line between observation and experimentation. Cryptic journals and notes. Among the most unsettling discoveries were hand-bound journals, sealed in wax and labeled with cryptic titles. Phrases like cycle study and reversion data hinted at ongoing experiments or theories. Inside, investigators found detailed sketches combining human and animal anatomy, along with notes on endurance, isolation, and survival under extreme conditions. Some entries were signed, while others were not, raising questions about authorship. The writings suggested a mind deeply focused on understanding the limits of life itself, how it adapts, evolves, and perhaps even transforms. Government markings and film reels. Adding to the mystery were several crates bearing faded markings resembling official designations. Some appeared linked to forestry services, while others carried coded labels suggesting federal or biological origins. Inside one crate, investigators discovered reels of film carefully labeled with handwritten notes. The titles implied recorded observations or experiments, though their exact contents remain undisclosed. The presence of such materials raised serious questions. How did these items arrive there, and what connection, if any, existed between Conway and larger institutions? A disturbing discovery. In one corner of the chamber, investigators found a chest containing bones. While many were clearly animal remains, some appeared human. This discovery escalated the situation immediately, prompting deeper investigation and increased security measures. Whether these remains were historical, scientific, or something more troubling remains unclear. The ambiguity only fueled speculation. Combined with the journals and specimens, the bones suggested a narrative that was both complex and deeply unsettling, challenging assumptions about Conway's activities and intentions. The disappearance. As authorities secured the site and began their investigation, Conway himself became the center of attention. When approached for questioning, he reportedly offered little explanation. Shortly thereafter, he vanished. His truck was found abandoned, his home left undisturbed, as though he had simply walked away. His sudden disappearance only deepened the mystery. Was he avoiding scrutiny, or had something else occurred? With no clear answers, speculation grew rapidly, transforming an already strange discovery into a full-scale enigma. Conclusion. Questions without answers. The events surrounding the barn have left more questions than answers. What began as a storm inspection uncovered a hidden world of research, secrecy, and possible experimentation. The true purpose of the underground chamber remains unknown, as does the full extent of Conway's work. Without official reports or clear explanations, the story continues to evolve through rumor and speculation. Whether it represents misunderstood science, hidden obsession, or something entirely different, one thing is certain. The mystery has permanently altered the narrative surrounding a man once known simply for living close to nature.